Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rattler Stadium. It's homecoming tonight here at the old ball yard between the Panthers and the Amarillo Tascosa Rebels. Only loss to the Rebels in district play happened last year up in Amarillo. Last half minute, touchdown by the Rebels sent the Panthers to defeat, and they had that well in their minds tonight, I'm sure. The Rebels won the toss and have elected to receive, which is unusual. So when we come back, Permian will start out on defense facing a very potent multiple option offense. Stay with us.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you.
Grave Rider! He's spraying Dr. Pepper because he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Hi, my name is Kevin Mannix. I'm the president and founder of Optimus Physical Therapy. I have practiced in the outpatient setting for the last 18 years in Midland, Odessa.
It is intercepted by Kevin Mannix.
Our professional staff will ensure that your functional goals will be met. Our cutting-edge manual techniques and state-of-the-art equipment allows Optimus to offer an evidence-based treatment approach tailored to each patient's functional recovery. Remember, Optimus Therapy for optimal results.
Well, awaiting the teams to line up for the opening kickoff to the music of the late, great Tom Petty. I Won't Back Down. Certainly a good song to hear tonight. As the Permian Panthers will face a team that they have played, this will be the 28th time in their history. They began 1959 when the school opened. Permian has won 13 of the 18 non-district games, 4 of the 5 district games. I mentioned they only lost last year. And they've won 3 of 4 playoff games as well. So they've really had the number on these Tascosa Rebels, Kyle Hubbard, but tonight it's going to take a pretty big effort.
It really is, and I think a couple of the keys for the Panthers tonight, they've got to cut or have no turnovers offensively. They need to stop the run defensively and make them throw, and when they do, they like to run this little wheel route with one of their backs. I'm sure they've practiced that a few times this week, and they can't get behind this team early because they've scored 99 points in the first quarter this year in their ball games.
Carson Roberts' kickoff is going to be returned where Christian LaChance made the tackle. And this offense, very potent, very similar in numbers to the Permian offense, will start from the 28.
And good coverage by the Panther kicking team there, or kickoff coverage team, to keep them down inside the 30-yard line. Now, this is a flex bone offense. Looks like the wishbone, except for the 2 backs are up in the slot. They'll go in motion as you see there. And they've got a big offensive line they like to run behind, Barry.
Well, Lamarin Smith is the first carry here. He's the one that went for 90-something yards a couple of weeks ago. What'd you say? You said you watched the film of it.
Well, yeah, first play of the game against Amarillo High after they blocked the field goal, the young man went 96 yards, I believe, for a touchdown.
Well, he got 2.5 this time. McNaught is the quarterback. Here's the starters. Connor McNaught, the quarterback. They have a whole plethora of running backs, but we're going to stick to the main guys. King Doru, Elijah Evans, Zabrian King, Lamarin Smith. Is that enough? Tafari Gomillion, which is a great football name. McNaught got the carry of only about a yard, brings up a manageable third down for the Permian defense.
Oh, whole host of Panthers to get them right there.
Whole host completely got on top of another great football name, King Doru. D-O-E-R-U-E. Now, you mentioned they have scored 99 points in the first quarter, so Permian forces a 3-and-out to start here. Permian has allowed only 13 in the first quarter, and all 13 of those were scored by El Paso Eastwood. So, at least on the first series, advantage Permian. And now Todrick Robinson will be standing back inside his 40.
Shanked it, Barry.
He shanked it, and he's asking everybody to get away from that thing. And Permian should come away with some pretty good field position.
That is great field position for this Panther offense to start. They've been very proficient themselves this year in the first quarter of ball games. They've scored 42 as opposed to only giving up 13 in the first quarter. We've seen this offense roll. They cannot turn the ball over. They had 2 on the first 2 drives last week in Midland. I'm sure that was a point of emphasis by Coach Felt and the staff. And let's see what Steve Steen and company do here on first down.
Well, they average over 8 yards a carry. Permian offensive running attack. That first pitch is going to be not to Ed Williams in the backfield, but going to be to Justin Hammond. Hammond, though, is well used in the running game coming into the ball game. 31 carries before that one, averaging something like, can't hardly read it, about 8 yards a carry.
And that's what he got on first down right there. So, boy, you can really open up the playbook here on second down if you like for the Panthers. Look at Steve get up the field for a first down with a good 4-yard gain.
Up there to make the tackle on him is going to be one of the cornerbacks, Elijah Kofer. But Permian, first shot they get is going to be a 1st and 10 now from the opponent 46.
I'm kind of wondering if this Tascosa defense, Barry, has seen the speed that Permian has, especially from the quarterback and the slot positions, even though they do have some on their own. It's hard to simulate that sometimes when you get into practice during the week.
Well, they average giving up 5.1 per carry to the opponent. On the other side, Permian averages giving up only 2.3 per carry. Permian offense averaging coming into tonight 441.6, but the Tascosa defense averages giving up about 323.6. So it's going to be one of those last man to make the mistake loses, and the guy that takes advantage of that wins it.
Or which defense makes the plays tonight. That's going to be an encroachment. Here's a free play. He's kind of getting held down there, and there's the flag down here as well.
So they got 2 of them.
We're going to have offsides, which will be declined, and pass interference on the Rebels down here at about the 19-yard line. Permian's going to get a pass interference call. This will be Chuck Alderson, our referee, to make the call. I'll give you the rest of the crew here in just a second. But this is going to be a really good field position for Permian.
We have 2 fouls on the play, offsides on the defense. That penalty's declined. We have holding on the defense on an eligible receiver. That'd be a 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That is Chuck Alderson, the referee you heard make the call. The umpire tonight is Thomas Perkins. The line judge is Jerome Chavez. The head linesman is Val Soto Jr., and the back judge is Robbie Walters. This is a Permian Basin chapter officiating crew.
What's Tascosa done defensively in the first quarter?
They have given up, Barry, in the first quarter this year, 36 points.
In 7 games. So Steen will keep it. Going to get taken down to the turf, so nothing going that time. Is up there to make the tackle on him is going to be Damian Gray, the junior outside linebacker. So that's a 1st and 10 play. It loses 1. It'll be second down. Real quickly, Orion Farley, Dawson Reynolds, John Hinojos, Mark Prieto, and Landon Peterson. Those are the guys up front that are going to be so important tonight for Permian. If they want to take care of business on homecoming 2017, get the job done. 2nd and 11. Going to throw the ball. Steen looking down the field. Here comes some pressure. Going to have to maneuver his way out. Going to keep the ball. Not going to throw it. Gets enough of a block to get down to the 22-yard line. So, again, he picks up 7 yards, where there wasn't a whole lot to deal with after the defense locked him down from throwing the ball.
And he made the right decision, Barry, by throwing the ball, even though he wanted to hit Brother Miller on a little 5 to 6 yard drag route. Thought maybe he could get him the ball to him, but made the right decision to go ahead and run. This is still a manageable 3rd and about 4.5 to 5 yards.
Yep, I thought he got 7. He got 6 apparently. So, yeah, as Kyle said, certainly manageable. He's going to keep it, or he's going to pitch it, knowing he's going to get taken down again by that same linebacker, Gray. And will they go for it, or will they call on the kicking team to come out and put 3 on the board?
This might be out of the field goal kicker's range here, Barry. I look for them to go for it on 4th and about 3. Saw the replay there. Did not get that outside linebacker, as you said, blocked. Look for him to go wide here.
Yeah, 25 is his long. So they're going to pitch it to Hammond. Hammond will have the first. He got enough blocking to get him down to the 13-yard line. And Permian's going to move the chains coming into the game tonight. On 4th down, Permian was 5 of 7, and now 6 of 8. That's certainly the way to do it.
The adjustment for Amarillo Tascosa, Barry, is going to have to be they're going to have to take a linebacker and move him outside to take the edge away. And when that happens, watch Ed Williams start busting some plays right up the middle on the dive.
So far, if I quit stuttering, they have yet to give the ball to Ed. Oops, somebody went the wrong way, didn't they?
Yep. Well, that's a reverse.
Then again, Steen makes something out of nothing.
It's a reverse option, Barry. I hope we get to see it again here. Watch, he'll try to go, looks like this way.
Offsides on the defense, number 90. Be a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
What was it? Offsides on the Rebels, Clay says. We have Clay Kennedy in the booth with us tonight. Larry Thornhill is visiting a newly born grandson out in Tennessee. So Clay's helping us tonight with our statistician efforts and our numbers tonight. He said it wasn't offside on Tascosa.
So the first drive of the game for Permian started from their 40. This is play number 8. And Steen again, the quarterback, will keep the ball. Here are the receivers, by the way. Todrick Robinson, Justin Hammond, Keyshawn Jones, brother Miller, and DeCavian White. Those are the main guys. We'll also see Higdon, Seth Higdon, Devin Graham, Garen Hankins, and Zach Hawkes. Hawkes has already been in the ball game, splitting out wide right, and he seems to get a little more playing time every week. So that gain was going to be, what, he got 4 on first down. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
See if Mr. Ed gets the ball right up the middle here, Barry.
Well, let's look at that defense. See how they're set up.
Yep. Boy, they played it very well. They tried to run it off the right-hand side. And number 34 looks like for the Tascosa Rebels. I think that's who it is. Yep, 34 for them is Randall Campbell, a junior defensive end. Said, actually, you're going to lose a yard here.
What do you call here?
I think you go wide. I think you put the ball in Steve Steen's hands and let him make a decision here. Either run the ball to the far side or pitch it to one of those wingbacks coming in motion.
Okay, so Robinson's going to be wide to the left as the wing. He has brother there tied on the right. He's got the one back.
Brother.
What'd I say?
How about Steve right up the middle? He did get stopped at the 1, but it is going to be a first down. They brought Brother Miller in motion from the far side, actually the slot side this way. Here's the replay. Watch Brother. You see him going from the north end zone. Steve just kept it, got upfield, got 4 yards, and a Panther first down, and it's 1st and goal just inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I stand corrected. I said it was 1st and goal from the 9 a moment ago. That was a 1st and 5 play, so he did get the first. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 1. And Ed Williams will wiggle his way into the end zone one more time, and Permian will break on top of the Tascosa Rebels here at Ratliff with the extra point by Roberts to come. Right now it's 6-0.
Watch the replay here. He's just going to give it to Ed right up the middle. Good blocking between Hinojos, Reynolds, and Prieto. And as you said, Mr. Ed just gets right on into the end zone for the first Panther points of the evening.
His 9th rushing score. He has scored in every game via the run this season. Carson Roberts looking to add the extra point. He is Johnny on the spot every week, and he is one more time right down the middle. So Permian taking the opening drive of the game offensively after forcing a 3-and-out defensively at 4:38 to play in the first, are on top of the Rebels of Tascosa 7-0.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Remarkable. That's what we like to hear from our robotic surgery patients when they talk about their experience. At Odessa Regional Medical Center, our surgical team is dedicated to getting you back to the things you enjoy most. And with robotic surgery, that's even easier. For Jamie, her successful robotic procedure allowed her to return to work and traveling remarkably fast. At ORMC, we want to help you return to the things that matter. We love what we do, and we think it shows.
I am ORMC proud.
That run by Williams a yard capped a 12-play drive. Well, that's a good way to start, huh, Kyle?
Well,
5.5 minutes, 60 yards to go ahead 7-0.
You couldn't ask for a better start to the game for Permian. Got great field position right about their own 40-yard line, and that Panther offensive line just did a job right at the line of scrimmage, and you couldn't ask for a better script.
Texas Burger and State Farm Insurance agent Mike Podzimny are two of our sponsors tonight for our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week. Permian's defense. Let's hit on those guys really quickly. Dorian Rand's going to have his hands full with three 300-pounders in front of him. He's the nose tackle. Orion Farley and Matt Jones, the defensive ends. I'll get to the others in just a minute because Tascosa is chomping at the bit and wants to run the ball now.
Jacob Wilkerson is at the nose position right now, probably trying to pace those nose tackles that they have. They got three they can go with Rand and also Alvaro Ramos.
And they're all good.
Yep, and they think they can run right up the middle on Permian, and right now the nose and those two inside linebackers, Adams and Notley, are not having any of that at all. Dorian Rand is down here on the sideline just standing. I think they're going to try to rotate noses, Barry.
Preston Ellison, Tanner Adams, Andy Notley, Keaton Armstrong, the linebackers. Demi, Shawner on the corners, Higdon and Vore. Vore the leading interceptor on the defense at safety. Talk about that. How'd he get out there?
Well, they didn't have anybody for the pitch man, Barry. Got blocked out on the corner. Watch. Here comes number 9 out on the corner. That is
David Gray.
Well, and Shawner's got to do a better job of staying outside there and keeping him bottled in. We do have a penalty on the play, Barry. I bet it's holding. They're going backwards. I bet it's holding.
Block in the back on the offense, number 15. That'll be a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
This offense, by the way, for Tascosa, runs for 357 a game, 8.3 per attempt. That compares to Permian 367 and 7.6 per attempt. Both of them don't throw a whole lot, 74 and 53.
And that's what those offenses are designed to do, Barry. They want to run the ball, eat clock, and wear you down defensively.
Yeah, but that what you call it, the wheel route, is what sealed Permian's fate last year.
Well, and
you got to be aware.
Watching a little bit of film during the week when I had a chance, like I said, against Amarillo High, after they blocked the opening field goal by the Sandys, they got outside on the corner and went 92 or 3 yards. Actually, 92 yards against Paladura and against Amarillo High. Bridges went 70 against them. So this offense can get on the corner, and if you don't have somebody for the pitch man, they will tack on some yards in a hurry.
Evans and Bridges are the two running backs behind McNall. McNall's going to keep it. He has the first down and about a yard more than that. Flag on the play, and it was taken down by Notley. There's a flag on the play?
No. I was looking at I thought the safety was down in the box. I thought he would come and get the alley there, but boy, they played it very good right there. That's Dorian Rand from his nose position making the play right there.
And that was King Doru, the junior running back. They have, 15 guys that have run the ball for him this year?
They really have, yes. Looking at your statistics, it looks like about 15 guys have run the ball for the Rebels this year.
Basically, if you can get beyond the line of scrimmage, they'll give you a shot. So they're going to throw it. One of the few times they do that. Has a man open and gave him a little bit too much room. He's going to be very close to the first down. They only throw the ball. See if I can find my notes here. They only throw the ball 7 times, completing 2 of them. 36%. Steen is 56%. Permian averages about 8.5 throws a game. And it's those little things like that you got to guard against.
Well, they'll lull you to sleep, Barry, thinking that they're going to just run the ball. And we had some soft coverage out on the corners there with Shawner and Adiemi. Of course, Adiemi doesn't have anybody down here. But they're playing pretty soft, and when you do that, you can throw the stop route for 5 or 6 yards.
Going to hand it off inside to one of those plethora of backs. This is Elijah Evans on the carry. Evans, all of these guys, it seems like, get a whole lot of use. Evans coming into the ball game, 21 carries, averaging 7.8 per. And he gets, about 4?
Keaton Armstrong on the play there, Barry. Watch the wing back go in motion to the top. Boy, they're just convinced they're going to run right up the middle on Permian.
And you're convinced they're not going to, right?
I'm convinced they're not. We've seen this Panther defense several times this year, including last week. At times, they've held opponents to less than 20 yards and a half of football trying to run. They are very, very, very good against the run. But against this offense, you have to be disciplined, and you've got to make sure, like I said, you get them in 3rd and long. This is 3rd and about 4.5 here.
The opponents are only getting 2.3 per rush. McNaugh's going to keep it. He will be a half a yard short, maybe a full yard short. Who did he run into there?
Tanner Adams, number 47. Watching,
Adams
folks.
just upended him.
Right there. He just came flat down the line of scrimmage from his linebacker position. I look for the Rebels to go for this. This is only about a half a yard, maybe a full at the most. I think we'll see a quarterback sneak here maybe.
Opponents are only 4 of 11 on 4th down plays against the Permian defense. So Coach Ken Plunk, formerly of Permian at one time, has decided to call a timeout and talk about it because it's going to be a full 4th and 1. Permian 7-0. We are still in the first quarter, but there's only 13 seconds left.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Paul Evans' huge selection of in-stock hardwood, vinyl, tile, and carpeting lets the Paul Evans customer fall in love with their actual floors instead of having to choose off of a tiny sample. Here at Paul Evans Flooring, we love big rolls of carpet, big pallets of flooring, and of course, big savings for you. From budget to unbelievable, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Texas Burger, deep in the heart of Texans for 50 years.
Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Medical Center Hospital. Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory, Complex Community, Federal Credit Union. So,
see if they try
you think they're going to load up 8 guys in the box? Not you're taking a chance on that passing dump off?
Nah.
No?
Nah. Well,
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't try to draw Permian here, maybe, or just run a quarterback sneak. Nope, gave it to the fullback, and he got it.
Not much.
Nope.
He got it, you're right, but not much. That was, in fact, I didn't even see who carried the ball.
I think that's Tanner Adams from his
that
linebacker
was
spot
Lamarin
again.
Smith, and he got maybe a half a yard more than he needed. And that was a good play, actually, by the Panther defense to hold them to just a half a yard more than they needed. I mean, they've had to work for everything. They hadn't had to do that a whole lot this year.
Nope, they haven't, and I think that's going to probably be the end of the first quarter there, Barry.
So at the end of one, Permian took a 60-yard drive, turned it in pay dirt with Ed Williams, the star running back of the Panther offense. And at the end of one, Permian 7, Tascosa nothing.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, he always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you.
Grave Rider, he's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
You've seen the auto ads offering low-rate financing. It sounds like a great deal, but you may have to give up the dealer's rebate to get that rate. What if you could get a great rate and the rebate? You can. Get your auto loan at Complex Community Federal Credit Union and get great terms and still qualify for the dealer's rebate. So have your cake and eat it too. A great rate and a rebate. Get your auto loan today at Complex Community Federal Credit Union.
Present for you.
Our Trans Global Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you by BCM and Associates, the Oilfield Undertaker, and Nimbus Drinking Water Systems. Now the main backs for this offense average Macno 6.4 per carry, Doru 8.9, Evans 7.8, Gomillion 9.7, Gray 15, Smith 11.2, McKellar 9, King 9.2. So they're used to getting a whole lot of real estate every time they pitch the ball back to one of those fellas.
And the Panther defense has really done a nice job of bottling them up. They are putting a drive together with some plays, but you know, the old adage, bend but don't break, that's what the Panther defense is doing right now.
The Panther defense has given up on the high end 131 to El Paso Eastwood, and everybody else has had a hard time running against this team. They pitched the ball back here again to Devian Gray. Tascosa had 22 yards rushing in that quarter. Permian 43. Tascosa 7 yards passing, so 29 yards of offense. Permian's 43 was their totality. They did not throw a pass, did not complete one either. So they get 1 on first down. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
2nd and 9, actually.
That's what I meant. Just checking you.
Got nobody on the quarterback, Barry. Watch out. Going to get him from behind, but they did a good job of blocking the corner, and nobody had the quarterback there on their option. Watch here. See, we got blocked right on the corner there. That's Seth Hickman getting blocked on the corner. He probably had the quarterback responsibility there. Matt Jones saved a touchdown, but not before the Rebels have a first down at the Panther 23-yard line.
Now they got 20 on that run by Mackinac. Now they're going to hand it off inside. Nope, they're going to pitch it to somebody. He fooled me. Pitched it back again to Doru, I think. Yep, Doru is number 16. And that's a good name for a player, King Doru. And he gets a couple. I still think one of the best football names in this area is the quarterback for Abilene Cooper. His name is Ender Freeman.
Ender Freeman.
I think that's a cool name for a quarterback.
Here's the
for
pass.
A player. Mackinac looks down the field, has a man open. Good positioning by Permian. Throws it out of the field of play, actually. Shawner was back there to defend the pass against Brandon White, and it falls incomplete.
I tried to run the go route with the receiver up there, and you're exactly right. Shawner had excellent positioning. Wasn't going to give up the deep ball, was right where he needed to be. This is where you want this offense now at 3rd and 9. Can't give up anything here. I would expect them to maybe be in 4-down territory.
White has 2 catches. The leading receiver, Baxter, only had 5 coming into the game, and they only get a couple here, so it's going to be a 4th down play. They do not have a field goal on the board this season. Lopez has not been successful yet, and this one would be a 37-yard kick if that's the direction they want to go in.
They're going to go for it, Barry.
So it'll be a 4th down and
about 7 maybe.
4th and about 7. I told you a moment ago, Permian opponents coming into the ball game were 4 of 11. They just made one a moment ago, so now 5 of 12 on 4th down. Mackinac going to throw the ball. Here comes some pressure. He got away from that, and he's not going to make
ball's
it.
In the air.
It doesn't matter because it's a 4th down play, and no matter what, Permian will get possession. But, yes, they pounded Mackinac. The ball popped up like a waffle out of a
toaster.
Yeah, it came flying down to the ground. But Permian, either way, was going to come away with the ball, and they will take over there at their 16-yard line. Did you see who recovered it?
See our replay right here. He's going to get popped. Look at the hit there. Guess who? Number 47, Tanner Adams, again popped that ball up in the air, and it didn't matter who recovered it because it was a full 2 yards short. Panthers take over, 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line.
Did you see who got the credit?
Well, I said Adams is the one that made the hit.
Yeah, he's the one that made the hit. Now they're going to go back to Mr. Ed. First down, he's going to get 3, close to 4 actually after the 20. So now you think after what they ran that first series, they're going to try to widen the defense out and then hit Mr. Ed up the middle?
Well, I think they've had some success getting the ball out on the corner with the pitch. The adjustment I think Tascosa will make is try to get a linebacker outside, and when they do, then you're going to open up some gap between the guard and the center. We're going to have a false start on the left guard here by the Panthers. That's going to move them back 5.
Now, this offense of Tascosa has scored 170 points in 7 games in the first half. They have a goose egg on their side of the board, and they're not used to that because coming into the ball game, they had put up 55, 42, 65, 27, 36, even losing to Lee, they scored 42, and then they had 52 last week in that 52-7 win over Wolford Friendship. So will Permian throw on 2nd and 15? No, 2nd and 10 rather.
Changing the play from the sideline, Barry.
Well, Steen's gonna pitch it back to Hammond. Hammond almost gets his face mask ripped off, but no call. Going to be up to the 21-yard line. So we got back +1, bringing up a 3rd down and about 4. That was a good call, good run.
A good call, good run. They changed it, like I said, from the sideline. They saw they could get the pitch out here on the corner if Steve read it right, which he did. And, boy, it was good, tough running by Hammond right there. Now 3rd and 4 I think it's important to keep this drive going and maybe work on that Rebel defense and wear them out. Don't give them the ball back after forcing them on downs here, but they're not going to get around the corner. Oh, he is going to get there.
He had to get to the 26, and little Stevie got to the 26 and a half.
Wow.
Well, Kyle tried to get him down. Kyle was blowing a whistle, and he kept going down to the 27, actually.
They had it defended very well, Barry, and give Steen credit for working through the tackle and getting up across that 26 and a half to the 27-yard line.
Let me apologize for saying little Stevie.
Yeah.
That came out without thinking.
Yes.
Also need to correct a boo-boo from last week here in a minute. So now 1st and 10 from the 27.
Changing the play from the sideline again.
Tell you what the correction is in just a moment. So they're going to hand the ball. Nope, going to pitch it. Last second they pitch it back to Jones, who gets his first carry of the game. And that brings up what happened last week. I said Keyshawn Jones caught a touchdown pass for his first of the year when, in fact, it was Hammond that caught both of them last week against Midland High. So my apologies to Justin. And sorry for giving you the credit there, Keyshawn. Hopefully we'll get a chance to get you in the end zone tonight.
Give Keyshawn credit for really reeling that pitch in. He almost bobbled it and still got outside and made 6, almost 7 yards on first down.
Yeah, last week, Permian had the bobble problem in the first half. Cost them a couple of scores. Tascosa has managed to give away a lost fumble every game but one. Last week against Wolforth was their only clean game. Steen's going to keep the ball here, and he's going to be very close to what he needs before he gets upended by Max Murray, the senior middle linebacker. You like the way he's running the offense here?
I like the way he's running the offense. What I like also is they're being patient enough to put the ball in Steen's hand, because they really figured that this Tascosa defense is going to take Ed Williams away, which they have. That'll open up later on if Steen and these backs that are coming in motion and getting the pitch, they're winning that war right now with Steen and the pitch out on the corner or the edge.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 rather. Going to throw the ball. Here comes some pressure. What's Steve going to do with it? Throws the ball out here on the corner. Has his man open, and Keyshawn Jones is going to be down inside the 40. Keyshawn's going to be down close to the 35-yard line.
That is Steen making this play with his feet, Barry. Watch. Really not much of a play action there, but good protection up front. Steve keeps the play alive by moving in the pocket, and then he saw number 6 down here, Jones, just standing by himself on the sideline. Good throw and catch, and another Panther first down.
28 yards on that one. Can you believe this? That is Jones' first catch since the Franklin game in week 2.
Well, they've got weapons, Barry. You don't have to get them all the ball. Just spread it around.
He only had one catch for 42 yards in that game, and he hadn't caught anything since till then. So they go back here to Ed Williams, the junior running back. He is fun to watch.
He is fun, and Max Murray, their middle linebacker, did a good job of running down the line of scrimmage parallel, making the play, but not before Mr. Ed got 4. Making this 2nd and 6. The Panther offense is wearing them down right now.
8th play of the drive. We're down to 5 minutes to play before halftime. It's a homecoming here. Tascosa's had the ball twice, and the Permian defense has managed to control them both times. That last time, Tascosa got all the way down to the Permian 20 before getting turned away on a 4th down fumble by Mackinac.
Good read.
And now the offense took over, and they've moved the ball down inside the 20.
That's a good read by Steen right there to pinch the ball out to Hammond coming around the right side. Good blocking, and boy, once Hammond gets in open field, he turns on the jets, gets down to the Rebel 18-yard line.
A little fast, isn't he?
He is really quick.
All of those skilled guys are speedy. So it'll be Steen now looking to throw the ball again. He's got 18 open. Did he catch it inside the field of play? Let's see if yes! He got it. He got it from 17 yards away. Steve Steen and our favorite brother Miller.
Well, this is just the fade down here. He waited a little bit to let him get behind him, and then watch the athleticism by brother to catch it and get a foot down. In the back corner of the end zone, the Panthers are on the board again.
Brother's 3rd receiving score of the season, but his first since the El Paso Eastwood game. So it's been a while since he's been in the end zone with the receiving end. He scored a few times on the ground since then. Hawkes will set the ball down. And the point through by Roberts is once again right through the middle. So Permian took over at the 9:40 mark of the second quarter. They have used 5 minutes off the clock. We have 4:40 to play before halftime. And they have scored both times they have had the ball to lead Tascosa 14-0.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's two guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's two dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Mike Podzemny about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
Well, not many teams have gone 84 yards against this Tascosa Rebel defense. Permian takes over after a fumble fourth down play at their 16. They go the 84 in exactly 5 minutes and 10 plays. Steen finds his receiver, Miller into the end zone. Steen's 7th touchdown pass of the year. Miller's 3rd reception, and Permian, more importantly, on top 14-0 and controlling the game on both sides of the ball.
Well, it really is. The first half has been about control, and the Panthers are definitely controlling the ball game. That was a great athletic play by Brother Miller, and let's give Steen credit for putting that ball where he could make that play.
Doru will return the kick, and Permian up there to make the tackle is going to be Keaton Armstrong. So those guys that toil on the defense aren't too puffed up to not play on special teams, and they do a good job.
They do a good job and got good coverage down there on that kickoff. Now the Panther defense needs to kind of get a 3 and out here and get the ball back to the offense, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. Just to kind of finish my thought there, if they can get the ball.
Could it be that 2-score thing?
That 2-score thing again, absolutely, Barry, because Permian starts possession in the second half. On the second half kickoff with the ball, if they could get 10 to 14 points on that turnaround between the end of the half and the first part of the third quarter, that might make it pretty tough for those Rebels.
This is going to be an important down at 2nd and 9.
Yep.
They're going to pitch the ball. And he's not going to have the first, but it's going to be 3rd and short as Armstrong will come up again and make the tackle. That's Keaton, number 46. He's the junior.
Watch, they took the dive away. That's a good job by Keaton coming down flat and taking a good pursuit angle to finish that off. Now here's 3rd and about 5.5 to 6. You're right. Here's the big down right here with 3:30 and the clock running, and the Panthers also have all 3 of their timeouts. Changing the play from the Tascosa sideline as well. Let's see if they roll out here maybe to the far side.
McEnroe pitched it, and he pitched it back to the running back who flat ran over his tackle, or his tackle, Aaron Ray. Pitched it back to, talking about good football names, how about this one? Tafari Gomillion. How's that for a name?
He'd like to have $1 million someday, probably playing in the NFL maybe. But give Preston Ellison the credit there, Barry. He defeated that block. Are they going to go for it here? No, they're going to punt it.
He's going to quick kick.
Yeah, he's going to quick kick it back there. But, boy, Preston made the play and really caused a train wreck out on the corner. And he shanked this punt, too. They need to get away from it.
Yeah, Lopez is the normal kicker. In fact, coming into the game, Mackinac had not punted. Not one time. Well, they decided to let him quick kick it, and he quick kicks it out at the 35-yard line. So Permian You see better than I do. How much time's in the clock?
2:39 with 3 timeouts at their own 36. This couldn't have worked out better, Barry. They need to maybe eat a little clock here, but more importantly, like we talked about, get points and go into the half with momentum.
No, of the 3 possessions, that's all Tascosa's had here in the first half. 2 were 3 and outs. Now, if that doesn't tell you defensive dominance.
Yeah, they've actually dominated the game. The Panther defense has, no question about it. Reminds you of the old days of the 29 defense and Permian's days in the 70s and 80s when they dominated that way.
Man, your eyes glass over when you start talking about those days.
Yeah. Well, they talked about it in the paper this morning with a really good article on Tanner Adams today and how he kind of fit the mold of the old Permian days of their defense in those 70s and 80s, and that's a great run on first down to get the ball out on the corner for a nice 5-yard gain, and it stopped the clock at the 41 of Permian.
Hammond on 6 carries, 47 yards. That one pushed the ball up to the 41-yard line. Hammond again.
Yeah. That time they had a guy out on the corner waiting for the pitch. Now watch them, Barry, make an adjustment to where they'll run that play and then let Steve roll back or take a few steps and they'll throw the ball off of that since they're committing somebody out here on the corner. 3rd and about 4, 2:08, clock running.
Now, Brothers not in the ball game on this down. That's kind of unusual. That means they're probably going to run the ball. So who's going to keep it? Steen, you think?
No. No, didn't you? Well, look at that stutter right there.
Yeah, what a
wow.
I mean, when you've got the speed and you've got the body control, you know, well, they needed, 4 yards on first, and he got about 10 or 11.
Watch the stutter right there. Froze the defender. Actually got him back on his heels. I think that's a stutter step decleater right there by Keyshawn Jones to keep the drive alive at the 48 of Tascosa.
How many times has Keyshawn run the ball here in this half?
Well, let's see. According to Clay right now, that was his 2nd carry for 16 yards.
There goes
Steve. There he goes.
Steen is going to score, ladies and gentlemen. No flag. Let's check. No flags. Out of bounds. Nope. He was in bounds the whole way, and he goes 48 yards.
Wow. Well, see, he's going to come backside. They have no contain on the backside. That's probably Damian Gray's job there from the backside of the Tascosa defense, and once Steve got outside of him, he was a race up the sideline. Might ought to put him on the relay team in track season in the spring, but Steve just did a good job of getting out on the corner and getting the 3rd Panther touchdown of the night.
Well, it worked out like you wanted, except they didn't use a whole lot of clock.
No.
That's the only drawback, and we're not complaining.
Nope.
So 1:40 to play before halftime, and Permian is up 21-0 over Tascosa.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment has kept you rolling since 1944. With 3 generations of ownership and 4 generations of management, Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment carries the complete lines of Michelin and BF Goodrich. And we offer more than just tires, be it brakes or shocks. Your vehicle's best friend is Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment. With 24-hour road service, you can count on us for all your tire and automotive needs. Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment, with the largest fleet of service trucks in West Texas.
Now that drive by Permian after the 3 and out, 1 minute exactly, 4 plays, 64 yards. Steen from 48 yards out. Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Security Bank and E&E Service and Supply. Steen 9 for 78, and that 48-yarder, that's the 2nd longest run for him this year. He had a 52-yard non-touchdown run. His longest touchdown run was 36. Hammond 7 for 48. Hammond, that's just about, he's had one game with 8 carries, one with 9, and now tonight 7 here in the first half. And Permian is 2 for 2 on passing for 44 yards.
Whoa. Tell you, all that juking and jiving by the
didn't do any good for Doru,
sure did not. The number 45 for the Panthers there on their special teams,
Bailey Grizel,
made the play, and he just did too much juking and jiving there. Should have just picked a hole and ran. Now, Tascosa has a minute 31 with 2 timeouts here from their own 23-yard line. So let's see what they choose to dial up. It's been a dominant performance so far by the Permian Panthers right now.
You do not want to give up a cheap one.
No, you don't.
And for Tascosa, you don't want to give up the ball by being a little careless down here.
Look at there.
Now Doru is the pitch man, and very quickly Christian Schauner comes up and puts the hit on the King, and that's going to be a loss of 1.
See, they pulled their left guard there, or tackle, I should say. It was the right tackle, Aaron Ray. They wanted him to make the block on Schauner, and he just sidestepped him and made the play. It was not a good effort by Ray, and a absolutely wonderful effort right there by Christian Schauner.
Now Tascosa sure seems to be using a lot of time.
I think they want to go in and maybe regroup here, Barry.
Clay is yelling for Permian to call a timeout. They're going to throw the ball here, and it could be picked off. Throws the ball way too high for anybody, intended for Brandon White. And there are a lot of white shirts around there. Higdon is one of them. Who else did I see? The linebacker got back there as well. Adams. He was off in no man's land.
They just
was able to knock the ball down.
And they just played right into Permian's hand here. Now it's 3rd and 12 with the clock stopped at 46 seconds.
Do you bring the house defensively, or do you play defense against the pass?
I think you just play base and make sure you're in coverage here, and if you stop them short, call a timeout. There's the pitch off the clock. I tell you, whoa. Well, they got around on the corner there. Missed a tackle by Ben Vore right there. He's kind of hearing it from a couple of the coaches. They wanted him to take a better angle. Watch here. Here he comes on motion there, and you'll see right there, he did kind of get blocked there on the corner. Give them credit for getting it around the corner and getting a first down, but I think they would have liked to have seen Ben maybe take a better angle to make that play.
It was Bridges that made that carried the ball. And who made the tackle?
Well, I can tell you who made the tackle right there. That's our man again, Tanner Adams, number 47. Watch him here.
It was Ademi that made the tackle on the other one.
Yeah, and you can see Tanner making his play from his linebacker position, and we do have a timeout on the field.
Permian on top of this one, 21-0 over the Rebels, 31 seconds to play before half.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas Plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you by the Booster Clubs at both Permian and Odessa High. Odessa Regional Medical Center as well. Odessa High is at lead tonight. This is the feature game between undefeated Permian and one-loss Tascosa, who lost only to Midland League a couple weeks ago. Another ball game happening tonight. San Angelo is at Wolforth. Friendship used to be the Davis brother battles, but the Wolforth Friendship brother moved on to Grandview.
That's just good coverage right there by Adiemi.
Yep.
He was in perfect position, didn't let him behind him. Coach Washington there, you can see in the gray shirt, giving him a low 5 there for his positioning and a great play. And again, it's going to be 3rd and long for the Rebels, and they've stopped the clock on the end of completion with 23 seconds left.
That's their leading receiver, Baxter, doesn't have a catch in this quarter. Good positioning by Adiemi to get that one incomplete. And Mackinac does have one completed pass, doesn't he, in the first half here? Isn't he like 1 for 5 or something?
1 for, I believe that's right.
Yeah, Baxter again misses that one and had the defense collapsing on him, Armstrong, so now they're going to kick. How much time? We've got 18 seconds. Well, if they can kick it correctly, I would sure like to see Robinson do something with it. They are 1 of 5 for 9 yards. Coming into the ball game, they averaged, 7 passes a game, completing 36%. That's 2 of 7. And Permian has just not given him anything.
Permian played base defense, Barry. They were not convinced they were going to punt. They're just going to let it roll back here.
Yeah, so there's nobody back there. Robinson is on the sideline, so they do kick it. Lopez does do the little Dancing with the Stars routine. The ball's going to flip into the end zone by the Harris. Just barely into the end zone, and Permian will take over out here with about 7 seconds.
Yeah, they're just
so just take the close formation, go to halftime,
and that's what they'll do. And it's been a dominant performance by the Permian Panthers in the first half of this game. Now you can sure bet that they'll talk a little bit about coming out and having a sense of urgency with that first drive in the third quarter. Maybe try to put this team away, get them on their heels for sure, and they'll talk about not letting up as well. It's not over yet. You've only played 2 quarters.
And the 2 quarters has been all Permian. At half, Permian 21. Amarillo, Tascosa, nothing.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Wood looks are the hottest flooring style going for today's beautiful homes. Paul Evans buys big pallets of gorgeous wood look vinyl plank, porcelain tile, waterproof core, and of course, real wood flooring, and we pass the savings on to you. From our best-selling budget vinyl plank to our unbelievable real wood flooring, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Tascosa Rebels had scored 170 in the first half. Permian held them scoreless. Second half, they're not quite as prolific. 149 points scored by the Rebel offense in the second half. Let's call on Kyle Hubbard again and talk statistically. Permian leads it 21-0 as we head to the second half.
Well, and you look at the statistics, Barry, it's as dominating on the Permian side as it was on the scoreboard and obviously on the field. Total yards, 192 for Permian to 77 for Tascosa. They had 9 passing yards in the first half, 68 on the ground. I'm talking about Tascosa, really not a whole lot. Being led by Connor McAnuel, their quarterback, 7 carries, 38 yards. Not much going after that. McAnuel was 1 of 5 for those 9 yards that we're talking about. Permian, on the other hand, a very balanced and efficient attack in the first half with Steve Steen rushing 10 times for 75 yards and a touchdown. Hammond, 7 carries, 48 yards. Williams, 4 carries for 9 yards. That's Mr. Ed we're talking about. And just Steve, 2 of 2 for 44 and a touchdown. Efficient when he did throw the 2 times. One of those was to Miller on that beautiful 17-yard fade route on the back end of the end zone down here on the south end. 9 first downs to 5. And it's been a dominating performance by the Panthers. I would think one of the things they'd want to talk about is jump on this bunch early to start the second half and build some momentum going into the San Angelo game next week.
Now the game last week in Midland, Midland Bulldogs had Williams to hardly anything in that first half, and then he kind of busted loose and had almost 100. So the King was elected by the student body. Brother Miller brings it out to the 15-yard line. Congratulations to our homecoming queen tonight, Abby Carrasco. The other nominees, Kayla Brito, Kelia Brown, Carissa Cortez, Allison Kirk, and Ellie Torres. The other King nominees, Preston Ellison, Isaiah Hernandez, Seth Higdon, Steve Steen, and Peyton Young. Now that kind of an ugly beginning. Start for the 15 now.
His brother thought he was in the end zone until he looked down and saw his feet were on about the quarter-inch line, decided he better run, but made the right decision, got on out, obviously. As you said, backed up. Now you got to be efficient here and can't get into a sense of just ease as they're going to throw the quick out here. Watch brother go. Watch out, he may be gone. Wow. Wow.
Well, he finally gets run out of bounds by the receiver turned defensive back Brandon White. But brother takes it all the way down inside the 20.
What a great block right there by Justin Hammond to get him out on the little wide receiver screen, the bubble screen out here to the near side. And brother just took off after that, and the only reason he got caught was because that defender had the angle on him, but not till he got down to the Rebel 20-yard line. The Panthers are in business again.
65 yards on that catch and run to Miller. Longest of the year for him. He had a 25-yarder earlier in the year. This one goes 65. And now they go back to the running game, and I had no idea who carried it because it got lost.
That was Mr. Ed right up the middle on the dive, Barry.
Right up the middle and got 8.
Got 8. Good blocking up front by those guys. Hinojos, Reynolds, Prieto, Peterson, and O'Farley. We've seen Oliveris in it guard as well, playing some for the Panthers.
O'Farley?
Yeah, and Oliveris. And there's Steve going up the inside on the option read and keep out on the right edge. Going to get that first down. It'll be 1st and goal just inside the Rebel 10-yard line, right at about the 9.5.
So we'll correct it for you, Orion Farley. Not O'Farley, but
yeah, he might. Sorry, Orion. We apologize.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Down to the 9-yard line, so it's going to be a 1st and goal. Now we talk about that 2-score swing. We were talking about back in the tail end of the first half. Let's see if Permian can take advantage of it. Steve Steen's going to make sure they do. And Steve Steen will be on the board for the 2nd time tonight, and Permian for the 4th time tonight to go up 27-0. pending the extra point.
Watch him slip the tackle there, and once he did, he just had to take a good angle into the end zone for the 27th Panther point of the night and looking for the extra point to make it 28.
Steen has scored in every game this season, and he has scored now for the 4th time, twice in a game. In this, the Permian 6th game of the year, the extra point added by Carson Roberts, and Permian takes the opening kick of the second half. They drill it 85 yards down the throat of that Tascosa defense to go up 28-0 with 10:40 to play in the third.
Hi, my name is Kevin Mannix. I'm the president and founder of Optimus Physical Therapy. I have practiced in the outpatient setting for the last 18 years in Midland, Odessa.
It is intercepted by Kevin Mannix.
Our professional staff will ensure that your functional goals will be met. Our cutting-edge manual techniques and state-of-the-art equipment allows Optimus to offer an evidence-based treatment approach tailored to each patient's functional recovery. Remember, Optimus Therapy for optimal results.
Well, the Panthers take the opening kickoff of the second half after Brother Miller returned it out to the 15, and he takes the ball from the 15 all the way down to the opponent 20. Took him 4 plays to go the 85 yards in a minute 14 seconds. His quarterback Steen got the honors from 9 yards out, and Permian, after only a minute and 14 seconds, a minute and 20 seconds or so into the quarter, is on the board again.
And they've been very efficient. Of course, it helps when you have that big long pass play off the bubble screen on first down there, the first play of the drive. Just kind of set everything else up, and you couldn't ask for a better way to start the third quarter. The Panther defense needs to, and I feel very confident in saying, needs to shut this bunch down here and maybe put a little more pressure on the Rebel throat here as we start and go through the third quarter.
So Mackinac will lead the offense on. They have not been shut out this year. In fact, coming into the ball game, their lowest output offensively was 27 against Amarillo.
Wow. What a play out on the edge right there. I think that's
Higdon and somebody else. Higdon and Adams.
They didn't even block. They couldn't get Seth Higdon blocked there out on the corner, and he played it perfectly to take the pitch away. We do have an injury timeout on the field.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Crave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
E&E Service and Supply is your leader in well service supplies and rig packages. We manufacture oil savers, rod transfers, rod strippers, pipe wiper blocks, weight indicators and pads, rope sockets, drop valves, guy line blocks, swab mandrels, fishing tools, slip cylinders for Advance, BJ, and Giberson, and a whole lot more. Please come by E&E Service and Supply at 3501 Brazos.
First down play lost 3. It's going to be 2nd and 13. Player able to exit on his own. Going to be the pitch back. Going to get back the yardage they lost, and maybe a yard or two more of it's going to be a 3rd down play after Higdon again for the 2nd play in a row. Able to make the tackle. This time he was up there on Tafari Gomillion. And Gomillion's going to push the ball back to the 30-yard line. From there it will be a 3rd and about 7 or something.
Good block out on the edge there to spring that play.
So quarterback's going to keep it. No, he pitches it back, and again Seth Higdon for the 3rd play in a row is Johnny on the spot. They pitch it back again to Gomillion, and Gomillion, not even worth a dime on that one as he loses about 3.
And I'll just tell you right there, Barry, Brandon White did not even try to go to Seth Higdon and make that block. He has to get that pitch out on the corner. That's a great job by Seth right there. 2 of the 3 downs on this drive, making big plays, and they're going to have to go 3 and out and punt again.
Carlos Lopez, though, was going to kick it. They had a Shankopotamus earlier in the game. Let's see if Permian's going to have a good field position. Will they be able to return this one? Come on, Robinson, are you going to return it? Nope, he's going to back away from it, and Gomillion's going to go down the field and going to mark it down at the 14-yard line.
Good safe play right there by Robinson, as you said, to get away from that. Didn't want to take a chance and maybe not get to the ball or force a turnover there. Just have possession. You've done your job to get the ball back. With about half of the quarter gone at 9:00, not quite half, I should say, 9:07 left in the 3rd quarter. Panther offense is in business again at their own 21-yard line.
Permian's drives 5.5 minutes, 5 minutes exactly, 1 minute, 1:14. Well, this one's going to start from their 20-yard line. Or no, from their, from the 20-yard line.
21-yard line, actually. Yeah, you're right. Let's see, they're changing the play here from the sideline. See if they try to come out here on the edge. They don't have anybody on the edge down here at the bottom. There it is. Oh, just gave it to Mr. Ed up the middle for a couple of yards.
Well, he was digging for some extra yardage. Got bopped in the head by Greg Creekmur, so he's going to get a couple. That's going to be the it.
If they would have run the option and pitched it here, they might have had some big-time yards. Because, as I said before the play started, they didn't have anybody out here on the edge to get to the pitch man.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 9.
Still a good 3 yards.
Maybe
First
7.
down.
Yeah, so we're going to keep talking. It's going to be 1st or 2nd and 1. So it's going to be 2nd and 7. Jones is going to get it going around the end.
Wow.
So they hadn't solved that play yet, have they?
Well,
and Permian and Keyshawn Jones, there's a flag, however, so we better check that.
Watch on the edge out here, Barry. Watch Justin Hammond get the cut block right there.
Number 60 of the offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
That's Chuck Alderson, our referee, giving us that call. It was a hold on the backside of that, but still Justin Hammond has to do his job on that play and make the cut block so they can get Todrick around the corner, and it happened, but all for naught. We're coming back, going to be about 2nd and around, looks like maybe about 15 or 16.
Well, they mark it back to the 14. The line to gain is going to be the 31.
It'll be 17 yards.
Yep, boy, you're a quick mathematician.
Yep.
So they'll have here in the slot Jones. Got the rest of them kind of smattered around. They're going to pitch the ball. Nope, going to hand it off to Mr. Ed. Here he goes. Here goes Ed. Ed's going to get some good yardage back and almost all that he needed. There's going to be a 2nd and 2 after he picks up about 16.
This is a little special formation they like to run, Barry, where they actually have a guard or tackle at the tight end position out on the right-hand side. Creates unbalance. And they missed a face mask there as well, but still good blocking up front. Made this really 3rd and 2 now. What a great play and a great run by Mr. Ed there.
Need to get to the Sorry, go ahead.
Here it is. Here's the same formation again. Ball's out, but Ed's going to get on it.
Oh, my goodness, Ed, quit fumbling the ball. He did get on it for a big gain up to the 41-yard line. Thank goodness there was nobody there.
Yeah.
They picked up 12 on the bounce and run.
Well, he just didn't secure it away from the handoff from Steen. Very lucky that they didn't have anybody inside. to make that play happen or get on that ball, but
that could have been a scoop and score.
Well, and it just kind of shows things are going your way tonight for this Panther offense too.
Yep, so all the way out to the 41-yard line goeth they. So it's going to be first and 10 from the 41. Permian pretty much tonight has been able to do whatever they want with it. Now they show the confidence in their running back by turning right around, giving the ball right back to him.
Well, that's what they do in this offense, and you've seen it from both sides tonight. They have to establish the first back through at some point during the drive in the game, and that's what Permian's doing with Ed Williams right now, just trying to establish a little dominance inside between the guards and the tackles in the center, those A and B gaps, and keep their defense honest, and then they'll spring it out on the corner here in a minute.
So it's going to be second down from the 44. That was a gain of 3.
Wow, look at there. They can't contain him, Barry. They can't contain him.
No, Clay doing our stats tonight. Hasn't seen Permian play but one time, and that was last week. Let's watch the replay, and I'll continue the story.
Play action pass, Brother Miller just running right down the middle of the field on a post route. This guy doesn't secure the tackle, and Ed's just, Ed, I guess I'm talking about Williams. Brother Miller tonight just has really kind of had his way. He's been the star in some cases in the passing game, and you should have saw it right there.
Yep, had that big run earlier, catch and run. Now he scores for the second time tonight. Hawkins will set it down, and Carson Roberts hopefully will boot it through, and Permian will take a 35-0 lead with 6:14 to play in the third.
It's the Panthers 35, the Rebels 0.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas Plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
There's a new rising star shining over West Texas. Odessa College is one of the top 4 community colleges in the United States. 5 years after completion, OC graduates earn twice as much as all other workers in the region. First-time Odessa College students can qualify for first-class free scholarships. Imagine more. Imagine yourself at Odessa College. Call 432-335-6400.
That drive by Permian, 56-yard pass from Steen to Brother, capping the 5-play, 79-yard drive in under 3 minutes. Coming into the ball game, let's see, Brother he had scored a couple of touchdowns via the pass in back-to-back games against Franklin and Eastwood. Now 2 tonight. He had scored also on the run for 4 games in a row. Hadn't scored via that route yet, but boy, it's been Brother Miller, who was, I mentioned earlier, the student body named him as the king of the court for the homecoming. Miller, 3 catches for 139 yards and 2 TDs. Steen, 166 yards on 4 of 4 and 2 scores. And I can tell you, Steen's effort is by far his best of the year. As last week had 106, and that was his high water mark, and he's already 60 over that.
Well, they've just exploited that Rebel secondary and Rebel defense. They've had their way with it tonight. Good game planning and good execution by the Panther offense, and they are firing on all cylinders, and you can bet they want some momentum going into next week's ball game down into the Concho Bobcats.
Yeah, avenging that last 32nd loss last year up in Amarillo. Quarterback keeper here, and each one of the linebackers. No, that is the one of them, Ellison, on that one. 166 yards receiving, by the way. First 100-yard game by a receiver this year. The high point before tonight was the 2 catches for 48 by Miller last week. in Midland. So, man, everything is just happening tonight.
Yeah, they're clicking on all cylinders, and look at that tackle by G. Guess who? It's a 4 and a 7 from his inside linebacker position. That's Tanner Adams again coming up to make the play on the quarterback option. He just took the quarterback there and said, "You're not going anywhere, fella." And here's 3rd and 9. This could be a 3 and out for the Tascosa offense again. Excuse me.
Mackinac coming into the ball game has not thrown a pick. Coming into the game tonight, he was, let's see, what was his passing stats? 16 of 47.
Oh, that should have been picked. Almost was by Seth Higdon right there. Great job by him in the secondary from his safety position to get on top of that. Watch the replay. Little half roll to the right, actually a full roll out. You see Seth is right on his hip, and I tell you what, Preston Ellison might have got a shot or a hand on that as well, but kudos to the Panther defense. What a job, Barry.
Man, I tell you, if how you drew it up in the week, if it was like this, wow.
It's just been dominating. That's all you can say about it tonight. And I think Todrick's going to get his hands on this one. Let's see what he does with it. Watch out. He's got a wall over there. Going to get pinned on the sideline, but that's a great return by Todrick Robinson right there.
Yeah, 29-yard return up to the 46-yard line. And for the first time tonight, Permian will be starting in Tascosa territory, but it hadn't mattered.
No.
It doesn't matter. They can start on the 15 and they take it down the field.
Well, they did that earlier, as we saw that on their own 16-yard line, but Todrick just found a good spot right there and got about 20 yards on that return, actually a little more than 20, and Permian's going to start this drive on a short field at the Rebel 46.
So 1st and 10 at that point. Let's see if they start giving the ball now to Ed Williams. Just kind of ground and pound. How much time we got left in the third?
4:50.
Yep, so 4 minutes, under 5 minutes. So it's going to be Steen pitching the ball back instead to Hammond. Hammond gets the corner. There goes. Hammond still on his feet. Hammond's to the 20. Hammond finally down at the 19, maybe the 18-yard line. From the 46 down to the 18. They really cannot do anything wrong.
They really can't. Great pitch and read by Steen right there. You can see number 44 for the Tascosa Rebels right there. That is Max Murray trying to get to the ball carrier. There's just too much speed and too much execution right now by the Panthers.
Well, the team getting executed is the one wearing white. Going to pitch the ball back to Jones, who's going to get, he got upended by Adam Mendoza, but he still gets about 5, and he held on to the ball, which is a good thing.
Little quick toss or pitch to the far side. Good blocking out on the edge till the defender comes up and does take his legs out, but not before, as Barry said, a good 4-yard gain. Clock running at 4 minutes in the third quarter.
Yep, I said 5. 4 is correct, so it's going to be 2nd and 6. Line to gain is going to be the 8-yard line. Steen was going to keep it this time, and Steve's going to be down inside the 7, so it's going to be 1st and goal for Permian. The offense, every drive, every possession has ended in the end zone except for the kneel down at the end of the first half.
Barry, I'm not sure we've seen this offense execute this well since maybe a couple years ago when Trey Potter and those guys played their first playoff game out here. I think it was Arlington Bowie.
Yeah.
They really clicked that night, and they're clicking right now.
Jones is going to get the catch here. Jones is going to be in the end zone. Is he? Yes. Keyshawn Jones, who I mistakenly gave a touchdown to last week, does get one tonight. It is his first touchdown of the year, rushing or receiving. And good job, Keyshawn, from 7 yards out.
There's the toss play again. Good blocking out on the edge. He plants an outside foot and gets up into the alleyway there on the outside, on the left side. And you saw him just hits the ball across the goal line for another Panther touchdown.
Going to try the extra point again, Carson Roberts. Set down by Hawkes. And Permian has the 42nd point on the board with 3:20 to play in the third. Permian 42, Rebels nothing.
Paul Evans' huge selection of in-stock hardwood, vinyl, tile, and carpeting lets the Paul Evans customer fall in love with their actual floors instead of having to choose off of a tiny sample. Here at Paul Evans Flooring, we love big. Big rolls of carpet, big pallets of flooring, and of course, big savings for you. From budget to unbelievable, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
What's freshness? It's Taco Villa's unique heart-shaped tortilla chips combined with creamy cheddar cheese, guacamole, and more. It's a soft, warm-filled bun with Taco Villa beef that's made fresh several times each day. It's a handmade burrito overflowing with perfectly grilled chicken, garden vegetables, and cheddar cheese. Taco Villa cooks your favorites all day long to ensure freshness you can taste. Taco Villa, freshness fanatics love.
Diamond Pump and Transport and Forest Brothers Tire and Alignment. That's two of our sponsors for our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week. So forcing a 3 and out, Permian will score on the 7-yard run by Keyshawn Jones. 4 plays, 46 yards, minute and a half. And Permian up 42-0. Scored on every drive except for the kneel down at the end of the quarter, end of the half.
There's a big collision at the 24.
I bet it's not 16 carrying this, is it?
Yep. It is 16.
He was back out there trying again. Doru got his bell rung a moment ago, but here he is again, and he gets kind of stuffed into the turf, and Permian will be back on defense. Well, this offense of Tascosa coming into the ball game had averaged, averaged 413 yards a game total, 357 and a half of that running.
And there is nothing there, absolutely nothing. Matt Jones from his right defensive end position took the fullback dive away right there. I think Clay's right. He said this on one of our breaks. Right now, Tascosa does not know how to respond to this. They haven't been in this position all year long, and that includes the league game that they lost over at Grande a few weeks ago. They scored 42. This Panther defense is really just hitting them right in the mouth right now, really.
So the quarterback will pitch it to the very last second.
Ooh.
And this time he doesn't get a whole lot as Vore, number 9, comes up to hit the running back, number 9. That is Devon Gray, and then the rest of the guys come in. Is there a flag you're telling me?
Yeah, there's a flag here.
Is that a late hit?
Maybe a hold on the backside here. Let's see what Chuck Alderson, our
they got a couple, maybe 3 on it.
Referee decides to call here, or will call.
Hadn't really been a whole lot of penalties tonight.
No, there hasn't.
We have a chop block, high-low.
Okay.
The offense.
Illegal chop block.
And explain what it is.
Well, a chop block means that you're coming from high to low or below the waist or below the belt, and it's not in front. It's almost a clip. The same way, it's to protect those defensive players from getting their knees and their legs taken out as they're pursuing. They don't see the block coming to them, so that's why they made that call. Used to be, and I think it still is, I'll get some clarification maybe this week, but it used to be you couldn't come from the outside in toward the middle of the field or the ball to make that type of block. It had to be up high and in front almost to keep from a clip or a chop block from happening.
So it's going to be 2nd and 20. Mackinac is going to throw the ball, throws that thing way up in the air, and it's going to be picked by Christian Schotter. That's Permian's. Well, let's go back. That's Mackinaw's first pick of the season, as I was detailing a moment ago. And for Permian, that's going to be pick number 8.
Schauner's in great position. There's just too much air under this ball right here, and he's double covered anyway.
It brought rain.
You're exactly right. Had a little moisture on it. Not a good decision, but a great one for the Panthers because they do have the turnover, and they're going to start with a relatively short field on their own side of the 50 at the Panther 48-yard line, as you can see.
That's the second pick of the season for Schauner. So Permian starts at the 2:10 mark from the 48-yard line.
Still got 4 off the pitch, and they actually played it pretty well. I'm talking about Tascosa. They had a safety and a corner out here, kind of closing down on the alley out here for the back, but he still got 3 yards on first down.
That he did.
They're just executing, Barry. That's all you can say about it. They're executing.
Yep. Judge, jury, and executioner, I would say.
1:39 and clock running here in the third. We're going to have illegal procedure down here. Brother jumped before the ball was snapped. This is Chuck Alderson, our head referee.
False start on the offense, number 18. 5-yard penalty. Repeat,
Thomas
second
Perkins
down.
also is the umpire again. Jerome Chavez is the line judge. Val Soto Jr., the head linesman. Robbie Waters, again, our officiating crew on the backside there, doing our game here at the friendly confines of Rutledge Stadium. Going to move that ball back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 12 from the Panther 46.
Hawkins is going to be split wide left rather. I'll have Jones here on the right, Hammond there on the slot left. Going to hand the ball off inside to Ed Williams. Ed's going to get a good amount of yards up to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, their inside linebacker or safety, number 29. That's Connor Carrasco making the play. Barry, we do have an injury on the field.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Diamond Pump and Transport LLC specializes in oil field transportation. We are locally owned and operated and do business in the Permian Basin and West Texas areas. We also provide hot oil service, acid pumping, water hauling, tank cleaning, and other types of oil field transport and hauling services. We invite you to call us today. Diamond Pump and Transport LLC, 432-617-8084.
Texas Burger, deep in the heart of Texans for 50 years.
We're down to the 58-second mark of the third quarter. Permian well in control of this ball game, as it's been all mojo tonight. 42-0 Permian through almost 3 quarters. Going to be a third down play. Permian has scored on every drive of the night. Let's see if they're able to continue that. Looks like Steen will have the first. He will. Finally gets the ankles tapped together, but he's about 5 yards beyond what he needed. The clock, the chains will move, and Permian will start again from the 38.
Did a good job of getting around the corner there on the reverse option. Took a shot on the leg a little bit there. I'm talking about the Panther quarterback, Steve Steen, but he is rubbing it off, and they do have a new set of downs at the Rebel 38. They just get the edge. Steve made the right read by keeping the ball and getting on up the field.
This will be the final play of the third quarter. Steen kept it, just runs into the big belly of one of those defensive linemen, Trajan Lawrence and others. And I think that should be it, and it will be. So, the Panthers led at the end of the first half by a score of 21-0. They put 21 more on the board in the third quarter. And at the end of 3, it is Permian 42 and the Tascosa Rebels nothing.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you.
He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Our Trans-Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Permian Basin Area-Wide Phone Book and by Odessa College. Thank you guys for sponsoring these broadcasts of the Panthers and Broncos. The gain was 3 on first down. Steen's going to throw it. Looking deep. Nope, here comes some pressure. He's going to be flushed out, but he decides to throw the ball anyway and had a man open down the field. Tried to get the ball to Justin Hammond, and it falls incomplete, but there is a flag to go along with it. Through 3 quarters, Permian 435 yards and has surrendered only 80. Macarena, my goodness.
They're going to get a pass interference call or hold down here.
Pass interference on the defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's a good adjustment by Hammond right there. And Steve told him to go up the sideline once he started scrambling there. Did a good job of running to his left and throwing with his right hand. Almost completed that pass. They did get the call, and they're down on the Rebel 20-yard line.
Well, he did a good job of keeping that play alive, drawing the flag, but when he couldn't complete the pass, so now they're going to run it in from here. Going to just simply keep it or pitch it. He keeps it here, and Steen's going to still stay on his feet, and Steve Steen's going to be down inside the 5 to the 4. A little extracurriculars as they're trying to get the ball away from him, but he gained 16.
And look at him fake the pitch with his head right there in his arm, trying to get that guy to think he was going to pitch it, and that's what gave him the alley to get on up the field and get down to the 4-yard line.
So now see if Ed Williams can barrel his body into the end zone. He has scored in every game this year. Has not scored yet tonight. So let's see if it's the time of 27. Nope, going to pitch it instead to Hammond. And, boy, they read that one, and he still got yardage back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they thought the pitch was coming there and had a penetration on the outside.
Holding offense number 63. It'll be a 10-yard penalty. Pete, first down.
Yep, we did have a hold, so it's going to mark it back to the 14-yard line.
That's about one of the few mistakes the Panthers have made tonight.
Well, last year, Steve Steen, 5 times out of 10 games, had 100 passing and 100 passing, 100 rushing in a game. Did not do it the first 4 games of the year. Finally, last week, 106 passing, 164 rushing. Tonight, unofficially, 125 rushing to go with over 150 yards passing. So back to his old tricks, and I like his old tricks.
And Ed just got the penalty yardage back on the give right up the middle. Almost kept his balance. Watch the replay here. Our Trans-Global Productions instant replay. Just ran through a tackle there by the end for the Tascosa Rebels. That's Trejane Lawrence did not make the play, and as I said, Ed got most of that penalty yardage back there at the 7-yard line.
So a second down from there. Steen will keep it here. Try to get some momentum with his legs, and he finally momentums himself into the end zone. I was looking at the pile there at the 4-yard line, and before I realized it, he had already left there and was in the end zone.
Well, watch the replay, Barry, as he gets up into here. They just never had a hold of him. He kept his legs going, and his balance was really good there, and just strolled into the end zone on the right side for another Panther touchdown. That is the 48th point of the night, and we're looking for the extra point to make it 49-0. It is up, and it is good.
And they're giving a workout to Robert's leg, but he's 7 for 7 tonight. Permian, with exactly 10 minutes to play in the ball game, have upped their lead to 49-zip.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Wood looks are the hottest flooring style going for today's beautiful homes. Paul Evans buys big pallets of gorgeous wood look vinyl plank, porcelain tile, waterproof core, and of course, real wood flooring, and we pass the savings on to you. From our best-selling budget vinyl plank to our unbelievable real wood flooring, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Hi, my name is Kevin Mannix. I'm the president and founder of Optimus Physical Therapy. I've practiced in the outpatient setting for the last 18 years in Midland, Odessa.
It is intercepted by Kevin Mannix.
Our professional staff will ensure that your functional goals will be met. Our cutting-edge manual techniques and state-of-the-art equipment allows Optimus to offer an evidence-based treatment approach tailored to each patient's functional recovery. Remember, Optimus Therapy for optimal results.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
Our Trans-Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Holkenthorpe CPAs and by Mannix Physical Therapy and Ortho Sports Specialists. Well, again, scored on the drive. This one a 4-minute, 10-second, 7-play drive covering 52 yards. Steen with his third touchdown of the night. And for Steen, that's his first 3-touchdown effort. No, that equals the 3 that he had against Wolford Friendship. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 of 1, 1 of 2, 1 of 9. Equals that tonight. And Permian with the 49 points. That equals the most they have ever scored against Tascosa. They won 49-28 back in 2014. The difference is the lead tonight is 49, and they've scored 49.
And it's been a dominating performance, as we've said a few times during the broadcast tonight, Barry. It's just been the defense taking care of its responsibility, shutting this high-powered running offense of the Tascosa Rebels. And Permian, on the other hand, offensively just really clicking on all cylinders. And I would think maybe at this point in the ball game we may not see the starters on that offense when they get out there next time.
Defense, yes. Starters on offense, no. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Rebels. And he gets a couple of yards before he meets Ellison and again Adams. You got some good ideas on the MVP?
Oh, I've got about 5 I can go defensively right now. I'm not going to do it just yet.
A
little early, but they have made some wholesale changes already on the Panther defense. Christian LaChance is down here playing the left corner position for the Panthers, number 13. I'll try to get a few more numbers as we go here. That's the first time they've really got the edge out there tonight, Barry.
Yeah, they got the edge and got a whole bunch of yardage. That is Treveal Bridges on the carry. And Bridges will boogie on down the road with the biggest play of the night for this Tascosa offense, all the way down to the 49-yard line for a gain of, 21.
Alvaro Ramos playing the nose position right over the center.
Yeah, Wilkerson was in there a moment ago. Yep. So the quarterback, Mackinac, will keep it here and come off the bottom of the pile is Ramos.
I think I saw a 4 and a 7 in there too, Barry.
No, that wouldn't surprise me.
Nope, wouldn't surprise me either. He's been very active tonight. Unofficially, I've got him with 8 tackles, and I've probably missed a few there.
Yeah, and he had that nice write-up in the paper, and I think he's trying to prove that he was justified in being featured.
Yep.
Going to throw it here maybe? Nope. Hand it off inside, just try to run behind the big beef. Now this offense of Tascosa, those 3 guys in the middle are, man, they're not the guys you're going to get behind in a buffet line.
No, you don't want to be behind them. You're going to be waiting a while. That Jorge or George Gonzalez at 313, Ethan Martinez at 315. We're talking weight here, folks. And Jacob Lott at 308. There's 900 pounds of beef there, and Permian has really neutralized that in the middle tonight.
So it's going to be 3rd and about 5. Mackinaw's going to keep it here, and he's not going to get the first down. He's going to be about a yard short. As again, 47 and 16 come up and make the hit. Boom, boom.
And I'll tell you, I think Tascosa will no doubt go for this. 4th and short, about a yard down, 49-0.
Yep,
see if they just bring the quarterback right straight up the middle or give it to that fullback, Zabrian King.
That should be a
he's gonna
motion.
get it.
I thought it was motion. I thought that tailback behind him came forward before the ball was snapped, but maybe I was seeing things because my eyesight's not too good.
He got the first down anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but that is at the 41.
Well, it matters, and it would have been a 5-yard penalty.
It would have been a 5-yard penalty, but you can see Wilkerson coming out, and it looks like they're going to put Ramos back in at nose here. Nope, they're going to put Rand. Looks like they're going with a 4-man. No, it's Rand at the nose, and they've got Ramos playing the end up there on the right-hand side. I'm talking about Permian.
How important is that shutout?
Well, I think it's very important, especially when the fact that it's a district ball game. For one, I think it really gives your team a lot of confidence going into next week's ball game. That is going to be so big down on the Concho River and the Concho Valley of San Angelo as this Panther team makes the trip down to San Angelo for that contest with the Bobcats. That's probably going to be 2 undefeated. It is going to be 2 undefeateds going for the district lead next week. I think it's very important.
Bailey Grizel made that last tackle. Now here we go again. It seems like every time they pitch the ball back to Treville Bridges, he's the only guy that can gain yardage.
Well, the block right there and the kick out is what brought that play to happen, Barry, because he got a good alley to run in off the left side. But that's good blocking and good execution by them, and they're down on the 10-yard line.
28-yard run there.
Nothing.
They go back to the middle and get nothing.
Yep. Absolutely nothing.
Jones and the rest of them.
Next week we'll have Friendship and Odessa High here at Ratliff Stadium.
Now you checked the score a moment ago on the Odessa Lee game, and it was what, 7-7?
Yeah, it's 14-7 Lee now. Of course, as you see this, folks, you will know what the outcome is, but Odessa High playing very good at Grande tonight.
Now they had a 50-yard pass play for a TD call back. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he gets nothing again because staying home and making the play for Permian was Keaton Armstrong.
Yeah, number 46, watch him on our replay. Also, Ellison was there as well. He just made the quarterback eat the ball and ran him right into, or forced him into Keaton Armstrong there, and got absolutely nothing. Here's 3rd and goal from the 9. This will be a 2-down territory series as well. They ran the reverse. And boy, that kid's got some speed, doesn't he, Barry?
Yep, he gets into the end zone from 9 yards out. Makes you wonder why he hadn't been playing the whole night. Of course, they have all these guys that they run in there. They had 15 ball carriers. So Treville Bridges will be in this end zone for the first Amarillo Tascosa touchdown of the night.
Executed it well, got him out on the corner and got a good seal, good alleyway for him to run through out there on the corner, and there they are on the board. The shutout is gone.
Bridges 4 for 77 and a TD. He had a 70-yard TD back against that team from Oklahoma. Hadn't really carried the ball a whole lot. Only had 5 carries for 74 before the night. And maybe they trying to use too many guys. Well, we have a new score with the clock down to 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the ball game. Permian still leads it by 49-7 over Tascosa.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. the Oilfield Undertaker.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Now that drive for the Tascosa Rebels capped off by Bridges' 9-yard run. Second score of the season for him. 11 plays, 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go 75 yards. And, of course, the number of plays and the distance, by far their best effort of the night, as Permian has just absolutely locked them down by the defense. Now all the hands guys are in there expecting an onside kick.
Or a pooch kick, maybe.
Yeah, something.
He pooched it.
And it's going to be gathered in. What did he call it? He called a fair catch. That was Hawkes.
After he caught it.
Yeah, Hawkes called a fair catch and then kind of stumbled, and then they said, you call a fair catch, stop it. I don't see a flag anywhere.
No, and that's the safe play there, Barry. You don't have to do anything any more than just field the ball, get your team possession right there. Don't take a chance on something happening, especially up 49-7. I think, when you're up this big, you have a tendency to let down a little bit. Just take care of business this last 5:20 and get on out of here and get ready for next week. As we've said, they've played very, very well tonight. I think this is a new quarterback in the ball game.
Yep, going to just keep the ball and run around the end. And for Permian, he's played just a little bit sometime this year. That's Easton Hernandez coming into the ball game. Let me check his stats where you're talking about him.
Well, Easton Hernandez is a sophomore quarterback. I think this young man is the one who had been at Wilson and Young, Medal of Honor Middle School as a 7th and 8th grader as their quarterback. I think in 2 years as their quarterback there, I think they might have only lost 1 game. So he can run this offense. He ran it there and did it very well.
We had 4 carries before tonight. When he comes in, they usually either let him run it or let him do a lot of pitching. And this time they do some pitching. Back to the running back who'll get to the 34-yard line.
It's Hunter Pence. He must have left the baseball world to come and play for the Panthers. He's a junior slot receiver and running back, as you saw there. Nice pitch from Easton Hernandez to Hunter Pence. Around the corner for about 5 or 6 yards. This will be 3rd and 4 for the Panthers.
Samaniago, the only running back. That was Pence's first carry of the season. So let's see if Samaniago gets the ball. Nope, it's going to be Hernandez pitching it back. And it's going to be Jones. Keyshawn Jones is going to get the carry. But Keyshawn's going to be well short. And for the first time tonight, Permian will have to punt.
Yeah, they'll have to punt the football here at 4th and 4. Nothing on that play. And you're exactly right. Bring the first team punting unit in. I want to make sure you execute this because you might need it in an important part of a ball game later on.
This is Permian's only 12th punt, Kyle, in 6 games.
Well, that tells you how good their offense has been playing, no doubt about it. Get down and cover here, stay in your lanes, make good sure tackles, don't give up an easy score here. Good punt. Excellent punt.
Yep, we'll just get away from it. Doru, let's let it bounce, and it's going to bouncy all the way down to the 6-yard line. And Christian Schauner and Adeyemi are going to mark it down there. So down to the Tascosa 6. We're down to the final 3:08. So let's talk about MVPs after that 60-yard punt. about MVPs defensively?
Well, I'm going to go with the obvious choice. We've called his name a lot tonight. He was
on Clay.
On Clay?
Yeah, you called his name an awful lot.
We did call Clay a lot tonight. He's done a great job for Larry tonight. We're going to give it to Tanner Adams, number 47, the inside linebacker for the Permian Panthers.
So it's going to be a pitch play and not get a whole lot there. Now let's see who they threw the ball back to. They got the ball back to Devion Gray, and the tackle was made. Who made that tackle? That was Christian LaFrance.
Or LaChance, is it?
Yeah,
13?
Yeah, that's it.
We got a new corner down here also, number 12. That's Jaden Alanis playing corner for the Panthers.
So 2nd down and 8. Going to run the ball. So offensively, well, I have a few choices as well. Steve Steen with the 3 rushing scores equals his best rushing effort scoring-wise of the season. Also threw in 2 touchdown passes. That's a pretty good night.
That's a great night.
That's a pretty good great night. You're right. Brother Miller with a big output in receiving yardage tonight. Didn't run the ball a single time, which is kind of unusual. He runs the ball at least once or twice a game. Didn't even dial up his number running the ball. But I'm going to, it's kind of tough to go, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Steve Steen, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. Well, they pitched the ball back to Devion Gray. So Steve Steen is going to be my choice for the offensive most valuable player. As soon as Clay writes up on his sheet there, I will tell you the totals that we have unofficially. That run, by the way, was out to the 24-yard line for a gain of, 16 yards. So it's going to be 1st and 10 again. By the way, their first-team offense is in the ball game.
Still. Yeah, they've got to rock the ship a little bit, Barry. If you look at next week's schedule, they're at home against the Midland High Bulldogs, a team that we thought were really good.
Steen 4 of 4 for 166 yards and running the ball 17 for 131, 2 passing TDs, 3 rushing. Now I say that's an MVP performance. What do you say?
I think the MVP performance tonight in the booth goes to you, Barry, tonight. You've had a pretty tough week, no doubt. And you've done an absolutely wonderful job. So has Clay up here in the booth tonight. It's been a big-time Panther victory here at Ratliff Stadium.
Well, when we came into the ball game, we knew this was going to be the toughest effort of the night, and that Permian would have to play error-free football in order to beat a very good Tascosa team. You get 2 for 1 on that one as Permian comes up with Alvaro Ramos, and Ramos just wraps a paw around both the quarterback and the receiver and just rides them both to the ground.
Yep, got them both with both arms and just said, I'll make this one on 2 guys. I should get 2 tackles for making 2 people go down.
Permian will win this ball game by a final score of 49-7. And I don't think they're even going to run the next play off. Permian will be on the road in what will be the district championship game next week on the Concho River against the San Angelo Bobcats. So hopefully you'll make the ball game there. We'll have the Odessa High game with Wolford Friendship here. Our Trans-Global production, Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced and directed by Bob Bailey. Debbie Bailey, our replay director. Lorenzo Rivas and Jason Barrage, our main camera guys. Grant Barrage and Robert Carrillo in the end zones. Pete and John Delgado, our sideline grips. Tonight, Clay Kennedy, our statistician. Kyle Hubbard has done our analyst work, and Barry Sykes saying thank you for being with us. We were expected a Permian win tonight. I don't know, I expected 49-7, but Permian wins it big and heads off to San Angelo next week. Thank you for being with us.